Today we are going to focus on the 4 main areas we can implement changes to help your dog overcome his fear. These include wellness, cognition, training, and management. Let's look at them first individually, and then we will talk about how they work together at the end. Many of the signs we associate with dogs who are fearful can also be associated with medical problems. For instance, if your fully house-trained dog all of a sudden starts urinating in the house, this can be a sign that he is afraid. But it also could be the result of a medical problem such as a urinary tract infection. One question I ask all my clients is, when was the last time your dog was seen by a veterinarian? Not only can your veterinarian rule out medical causes, they can also provide help to make our plans progress more efficiently. Some commercial diets contain fillers, dyes, and other substances that affect how our dogs feel and therefore behave, just as a diet of junk food or sugar-laced foods can help make us feel blah. This is a good time to evaluate your dog's diet and ensure you are feeding one that is balanced, contains no fillers, and is sourced from high-quality ingredients. What are you currently feeding your dog? Are there any ingredients you aren't sure about? Do a Google search to ensure they are necessary components of your dog's diet. If you aren't satisfied with your food, Whole Dog Journal does an annual report on different manufactured diets that is a good source to start with. Ask your trainer for this link or dive deeper with your veterinarian or a veterinary nutritionist. Just like us, dogs respond to stress physiologically. The autonomic and endocrine systems are activated when the dog perceives a stressful event. Chronic stress can interfere with the acquisition and consolidation of new information. Veterinary behaviorists or veterinarians knowledgeable in behavior medications can evaluate your dog's needs to ensure the information we are trying to put in isn't hitting a brick wall, so to speak. I know the idea of using medications can often be scary, even if only for short-term use. But often, they open a window to the brain, and as we put new information in, your dog will seem less anxious, less reactive, and be able to process the new information we are putting in. And don't worry, after he adjusts to the medication, he'll be the same guy you've always loved. Is your dog currently on behavior medication? If so, let your trainer know and always discuss your concerns or questions with your veterinarian. If not, and this is something you feel might be helpful, speak to your veterinarian. Your trainer can provide any training plan details to your veterinarian if they have questions about the training you will be doing with your dog. Just like us, dogs feel better when their bodies are in optimal condition. They don't care if their collars fit or if others think their behinds look big, but they do care if their joints hurt from packing on a few extra pounds. Physical exercise is good for the body and the mind. Some dogs just need to get out, sniff the roses, see some sights, and enjoy a stroll with their humans. Others might need a good game of fetch each day. Your goal should be to have a dog that is calm and relaxed when everyone else in the house is ready for some downtime. If he needs a stuffed Kong or a bone to chew on, that's cool too. How much exercise does your dog need? Don't worry, this is a judgment-free zone. I am not here to lecture you, only to get you thinking about your dog's needs. I understand completely how busy life is. If you don't feel your dog is getting enough exercise, think about how you can create opportunities for him to get rid of the excess energy. A weekly visit to doggy daycare will often result in a dog resting for a couple days just to recoup. So let's turn the page and talk about dog cognition. Dog cognition is the process in dogs of acquiring, storing in memory, retrieving, combining, comparing, and using this information and conceptual skills in new situations. Dogs use all of their senses in cognitive tasks: olfactory, auditory, visual, taste, and touch. Cognition can be divided into 2 aspects: individual problem solving and social problem solving. Let's investigate this model while thinking of a dog who is afraid to be home alone. Each time we have left in the past, our dog has panicked. He stores that information in his brain, and so the panic that used to happen at 2 hours now happens when we're only putting on our shoes. When we start introducing our exercises, our dog stores new, safe information in the brain. He can then use this information to reason. Well, when she jiggled the door handle those last 10 times, she always came back. So now that she is just opening the door halfway, I bet she'll come back, and on until we achieve our goal. On the other side of the table, by changing our interactions to be more low-key, our dog starts to read and respond to this and be like, "Oh, so it's no big deal when you leave and come back? Got it." Research by Dr. Karen Overall and others has provided evidence that calm, analytical dogs solve problems quickly, whereas reactive or stressed dogs solve problems slowly, if at all. This information is important to us because we can provide the fearful dog with tasks and puzzles that he must solve to gain access to the things he wants, like food, toys, access to the outdoors, or even us. By stimulating his brain, we are creating new neural pathways for good information to travel, which leads to a calmer dog that can learn to relax over time to what previously scared him. So in essence, we are reverse engineering those findings by Dr. Overall and reprogramming our dog's brain so that he becomes more calm and uses his new problem-solving skills in previously scary situations. Learning should be a lifelong adventure, so the pathways continue to develop in the brain and protect it from the effects of aging. When working with fearful dogs, we often encourage clients to take a training class, engage them with puzzle toys, nose work, or other activities that engage the brain, all of the senses, and the body. Take a few minutes to think and ask yourself, what are some activities we can do to get your dog building new pathways? If you aren't sure, there's an amazing website called Dognition that you can start on a journey with your dog playing a variety of games to get that brain into action. Let's take a look now at how dogs learn and what this means for training. Dogs learn in one of two ways. First, by making associations. For example, what is your dog's response when he sees you grab the leash? Most dogs get excited as they have learned that when you grab the leash, a walk is on its way. They also learn by consequences. For example, when your dog sits and you give him a cookie, if you do this often enough, your dog will learn that sitting often results in cookies and he'll be more prone to do it. So what this means for us is this: regardless of how many skills your dog has, when he is fearful, it is because he has made a bad association with something, like a storm, being home alone, other people, things, or animals. Not only is the association sometimes bad, it can be downright terrifying. Like when I encounter a snake on my property, that's something no one wants to witness. When the dog perceives the threat, the dog's body all of a sudden takes on a mind of its own. Well, not really. The amygdala, a part of the brain, signals, "Threat, doggy, threat." Breathing rate increases, helping to get more oxygen into the blood, into the muscles. The muscles tense to prepare to get him out of there. The adrenal glands fire off hormones that help the body to cope with stress, increase the heart rate, and signal the liver to release stored energy. This is what causes escape behavior, loss of house training, vocalizations, etc. We can't just prevent the behavior from occurring. That will ultimately lead to new behavior that may be even worse for the dog and for us. For instance, if we find a way to stop our dog from barking, they will find a new outlet such as digging or chewing at the doorways. This is why our goal should never be to stop behavior. We want to teach the dog to behave in a way that earns him something, or in this case, remove the underlying reason for the behavior in the first place. Luckily, we have science on our side, and it comes to the rescue every single time. What we can do is teach the dog that the scary thing isn't so scary after all by introducing it at a level that doesn't trigger the body into action. If we go too fast or too quickly and the amygdala sends out the threat doggy threat signal, we are fighting a losing battle. Let's look at some of the components we use to teach dogs they don't need to be worried and panic, which leads to all of those things that worry us. In our toolbox, we have desensitization, counter conditioning, and differential reinforcement of incompatible behavior, among other tools. Desensitization is where we present the scary thing at a level that the dog can handle. Instead of leaving for the day, we open and shut the door a few times. Counter conditioning is where we create new associations to the scary thing. Think of thunder making chicken rain from the sky. If only that were the case. We can make the chicken rain, though. Differential reinforcement of incompatible behavior is basically where we teach the dog a different behavior that interferes with the performance of the one we don't want. For instance, a dog can't jump if they are sitting. So what tools should we use for your dog? This is where your trainer will come in handy. We humans tend to want to get things done quickly, but when we are helping our dogs overcome fear, one tried and true thought is this: if you think you are going too slow, slow down. Your trainer has the experience and education to implement them effectively. I always like to tell my clients, my job is not only to get your dog there, but to support you through this process as well. I celebrate with clients and listen when they are frustrated. Then we pick up the pieces and keep moving forward. Now we have a plan to teach our dogs something or change how they feel, but training is going to take a little while, right? So for now, we are going to need to manage a little, maybe even a lot. Preventing the dog from accessing the thing that scares him seems like an impossible task, but we are fortunate to have a lot of tools available to us. Management is a key to our success. Think of those brain pathways again. Every time the dog is exposed to the fearful stimulus, those pathways get stronger. If we start managing the scary stimulus and teaching the dog it's not so scary by working at a level he doesn't feel scared, we create new pathways. These pathways get stronger and stronger. I always think of this like going somewhere new. The first time I travel to the destination, I need the GPS on, but after several times going there, it's automatic. I know management is scary. We often think it's impossible, but I promise it's not. All of my clients I work with for separation anxiety have found ways to never leave their dog home alone without giving up their everyday lives. Yes, it takes planning and some financial resources, but it is not impossible. All of the clients I work with for noise phobia have found ways to lessen the intensity of the scary stimulus by seeking guidance from their veterinarian, a veterinary behaviorist, and introducing a plan for the dog that includes a safe hiding spot with tools to decrease the sounds of the storm, such as extra blankets, sound deadening panels, white noise, fans, or soft music. No matter the scary stimulus, we can create a management plan for your dog. Take a moment to ask yourself, what should be my first step to help manage what's scary for my dog? If you need help, ask your trainer for some guidance. So, that was a lot to take in, right? Don't worry, you can replay this video as often as you'd like. For now, let's just recap. There are 4 components to helping our dogs overcome their fear. Wellness, which is made up of tending to the dog's medical needs, nourishing the body, and exercising. Cognition, where we introduce activities that help get our dogs to start thinking, reasoning, and implementing the new information they learn. Training, in which we help them make new associations or learn new skills. And management, where we minimize the opportunity to experience fear. Training will help to build cognitive skills. Management and wellness will help to prevent the body from stress. And with all of these pieces attended to, your dog can begin to lead a less stressful life and overcome what scares him.